Welcome to the Stock Market Daily News Podcast. It's December 19th, 2025, and we're here recapping another dynamic trading day across Wall Street. U.S. stocks snapped a 4-day losing streak after a key inflation report, while the tech sector roared back on blowout earnings. We'll break down the big index moves, the Micron Technology rally, gold's continued climb, shifting analyst calls, and why China's AI chip wave is minting new billionaires, even as the economy wobbles. Let's get started. First up, a market turnaround. The S&P 500 closed up 0.8%, the Nasdaq jumped 1.4%, and the Dow Jones added 67 points. What flipped the switch? A cooler-than-expected consumer price index report showed annual inflation slowing to 2.7% in November. That lighter print, despite messy government data collection, helped brighten hopes for a potential interest rate cut early next year and put stocks in rally mode. The odds of a January cut ticked up to about 27%. For investors, tamer inflation is good news for both equity values and bond yields, which dropped across the curve. Next, all eyes were on Micron Technology. Micron stunned the market with blockbuster earnings, easily beating Wall Street's expectations. The memory chip maker reported quarterly revenue of $13.6 billion, a 57% year-over-year increase, with net income nearly tripling to $5.2 billion. That sent Micron shares soaring around 12% in pre-market trading to roughly $250 and triggered a broad rally in semiconductor and AI-linked stocks. Micron's management now projects further revenue growth in the coming quarters, calling AI demand the main tailwind. For investors, Micron's results suggest resilience in the AI infrastructure trade, just as sentiment was getting shaky. Meanwhile, gold is glimmering once again. Safe haven demand and soft economic data pushed gold up to $4,344 an ounce, with silver also climbing sharply. Central banks and retail investors are continuing to add to their bullion positions, betting on a weaker dollar and the possibility of more interest rate cuts in 2026. It's a reminder that while stocks celebrate lower inflation, some investors are still hedging against uncertainty. Let's check in on analyst moves and key movers. Micron Technology was upgraded to buy at Bank of America with a $299 price target, reflecting confidence in its AI-driven growth. Big upgrades also came through for Merck and Rivian, while Argenx and Lennar faced downgrades. Analyst calls can add momentum or act as a reality check, so always keep an eye on those shifts. And over in Asia, China's property crisis hasn't slowed the AI chip billionaire boom. Shares of MediX Integrated Circuits jumped as much as 700% on their Shanghai debut, making its founder Chen Weiliang worth around $6.5 billion overnight. The AI chip rally has minted several new mega fortunes, spurred by Beijing's push for chip self-sufficiency after U.S. export bans, even as the broader Chinese economy remains sluggish. Investors betting on local chip makers have plenty of momentum, but also face serious regulatory and policy risks. Quick recap. S&P 500 rose 0.8%, Dow up 67 points, Nasdaq up 1.4%. Earnings strengthened chips, cooling inflation, and analyst upgrades drove the rebound. Eyes now turn to the next round of earnings, the December inflation data due mid-January, and signs from the Fed on the path for rates. For more daily market breakdowns, subscribe to this podcast and follow us for the latest in trading and investing. Thanks for listening to the Stock Market Daily News Podcast.